I don't suppose you could give me a sample of your brain tissue for study purposes?
No, thank you. Welcome to Gosu Academy, students. Today we're going to get right into it. These are the rebellion missions. To do these missions, we need first to do 6 total missions, so the 3 Marsara plus any 2 others. We begin with the Great Train Robbery, where there are Dominion supply trains coming by our base on any one of 3 tracks, and we basically need to blow them up. We need to blow up 8 of them, and not let either 2 or 3 past, depending on what level we are playing at. We'll start here building up our base, and already we can see on the mini-map a defiler bone sample down outside our base. We should send one of our Marines down to get that, because even though that isn't an objective yet, it will become a bonus objective.
That's fine.
3 Marines left, and 3 Diamondbacks that have just been identified. Send 1 Marine to each location, and when you get a Marine to the Diamondback, it will turn it into a force that you can use. Diamondbacks are basically death rays on dune buggies. And they can fire while they're moving, so that's kind of handy. Now there are 6 Diamondbacks total. You need to find the other 3. One of them is up by those 2 at the top, and one of them is down below the one on the left there. Another one is southwest of the base. As you get up to one of those Diamondbacks, you will see another defiler bone sample you can tag easily, and down to the southwest there's a 3rd. There's also a little bit of a possible expansion right up here near what we're looking at now. It's lightly defended. You can expand up there if you want to. And there's our first train, and we found another Diamondback, so we used that to get the train. And now we're doing the most important thing you do in this mission, besides blowing up trains, which is to harvest minerals that are lying around, and gas that's lying around, and especially minerals and gas that are left behind when you blow up the train. You've got to do that. Now the Dominion's not going to like that, so they're going to start sending escorts with the trains. Then they're going to put bunkers along the train route. Then they're going to speed up the trains without escorts. Then they're going to go back to heavy escorts along with a marauder army that sort of does slow circles around the base on the tracks and is very dangerous. Well, we're going to go ahead and expand. That's not strictly necessary, but we did clear that base. And we're going to have to fix a little problem here where we built stupidly and essentially corralled some of our forces.
Mineral field.
But now we have a large force, so just for fun we're going to destroy this base. You do not have to do this. You don't have to destroy bases in order to win at this. And it can endanger your force. It could get taken out, so it's probably foolish to do. Speedy little train, but not speedy enough. Unfortunately, we're going to be paying so much attention to the train, we're going to miss this marauder force, and it's going to toast us because we're not thinking. So, because we saved just shortly before this, we'll be able to go back, reload, and not make the same mistake twice.
What's on your mind?
Boom. Get that diamond back, get these resources, and we're up on the ledge above that one base we saw earlier. They can't see us, so to them it's a clear day, and they're just bolts out of the blue. Oh my, that must be awful. We also cleared out the Marauder force with this same group. We trapped them in a choke and blasted them. And here we are clearing out the last train. If you build enough force, you can do this. I myself don't even like Diamondbacks. I'm just doing it to show that you can do it. Siege tanks are wonderful for this. Some people use other things, Goliaths and so forth. I wouldn't use just bunkers because the Marauder force will take them out.
We're detecting electrical activity in the wreckage.
Some of the achievements for this are finishing the objectives, destroying all the Marauders on normal, and on hard, not letting any trains by. I like using siege tanks as best. That's really fun. It can pretty much one-shot the train with a large enough group.
Ladies and gentlemen, each night I bring you the news in the most fair and balanced manner possible. But tonight I have a commentary. Some have asked me what the difference is between our leader, Emperor Mengsk, and the traitor Jim Raynor. They point out that Mengsk rebelled against the government of his youth and came to power through the use of violence and subversion. Why is it wrong for Jim Raynor to rebel in similar fashion? There is a difference. When Emperor Mengsk began his revolution, there was no threat hanging over humanity. James Raynor is waging his revolution while we are at war with 2 alien races. James Raynor, have you no conscience? Shouldn't you fall in line, putting your petty complaints aside as we struggle for humanity's very survival against this alien menace?
Everyone's a critic.
I've been looking for an encryption expert so we can access the adjutant we recovered. No luck so far.
Colonel Orlin at Dead Man's Port can crack anything. Haven't been back there in a while. Say, didn't you end up getting married last time we were there?
I told you before, if I knew what the prize was, I never would have joined that card game. Dead Man's Port. It's risky just waiting here with all these mercenaries around. Colonel Orlin's sure taking his time decrypting that adjutant for us.
Yeah, I'm getting a bad feeling about this.
Incoming transmission.
James, Orlan decrypted your adjutant, but he's planning to sell it to the Dominion. Must have been something exciting in there. He wants me to keep you off his back until they arrive.
That's nice, Mira. But why are you telling me all this?
Because I like you and Matthew better than him, of course. Match Orlan's offer, and I will help you take him out instead. He's paying in minerals, so I'll give you the same deal.
Done. Always a pleasure, Mira.
Don't take too long now. If Orlan comes up with the goods first, I will have to side with him. Oh, and say hello to Matthew for me. Ask him why he never calls.
Oh, I'm shocked and appalled that Horner is such a slacker of a husband. Here we are in Cutthroat. We're going to try to collect 6,000 minerals. That's our main objective. Eventually, our objective will be to destroy Orlan's planetary fortress. Bonus objectives are to collect 3 Protoss relics. For achievements, you can complete the objectives. Kill 25 enemy units with spider mines on normal. You're going to have to build some extra vulture bikes to do that, to deploy more mines. And to complete the mission on hard without training additional SCVs, which you can do because you're not going to do most of your mineral collection by mining. You're going to do it by going around and collecting the minerals that are lying around. Now note something here. If we drop a mule directly onto a mineral path, it will immediately begin mining. We don't need to drop a mule somewhere near it and then tell it to mine. We'll watch the little Marines here. They'll go over and get that batch of minerals there. And our minerals bar up there will go down as we build and up as we collect minerals. We don't care if Orleans gets ahead of us for a while, but eventually we're going to have to go kill his 3 bases. And that will dramatically stop his mineral production. And in the meantime, as we do that, we also need to be collecting minerals all over the creation, and then our bar will go up, 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 up. And that way we can get 6,000 before he does. If he did it, that'd be a disaster.
I left a little present out here for you and Matthew. I never got to give it to him last time you boys were here.
Those vulture bikes?
So here's our vulture bikes. That's kind of the default unit for this mission. You can build with those, and one benefit they have is you can put, instead of a tech lab, a reactor on a factory and build them 2 at a time. That's really, really good. I, as it happens in this one, switch over to Diamondbacks, which I don't especially like, but they have the virtue here of being able to shoot while they move, and since you're moving continuously, in order to pick up minerals, you want to shoot those annoying little units as you go. They're pretty handy for that. Now the small white dots are resources. The big white square is a Protoss relic, and then the bases of Orlan are marked. As he gets very far ahead, you're going to want to knock those bases out because that'll cripple his mineral production. That'll basically take it down to near 0. Here we are near the end of the game. We've hit 2 of his bases. We've got most of the relics. We're going to tag this last relic right here. Boom. Get a few more minerals and then hover. Well, they are hover tanks. Head over to that last command center, and when we take it down, that'll give us the minerals we need to get 6,000 and lock up Mira's loyalty, such as it is.
All right, Mira. We both know you're ripping me off, but I'm gonna hire you.
This is Mira's base. It was designed by Molly Ringwald.
My forces are yours.
You can do one of two things here.
So glad
You
I got to
can
serve with you.
turtle down and build and build and build. Maybe expand some more, build a bigger army. Or you can just take over the base, unload the bunkers, get whatever mercenary units you have money for immediately, move your army out, and attack Orlan straight away. That we're going to do that. Now here we are down at the bottom, and we're going to be heading up to here to get Orlan. He will, of course, resist us. His resistance may be futile. Watch out for the news. Here we are at the tippy top of those siege breakers. They are so destructive. Oh my heavens.
All right, I surrender.
He dug you up on Tarsonis. Were you online during the Zerg attack? Do you remember anything about Arcturus Menks being involved?
Menks, Arcturus, ex-Confederate officer, civilian prospector, founder and leader of the Sons of Korhal terrorist group. Status, criminal. Accessing intercepted transmission 0081 to 0086 Alpha.
This is Duke. The emitters are secured and online.
Who authorized the use of psi emitters?
I did, Lieutenant.
What? The Confederates on Antigua were bad enough, but now you're gonna use the Zerg against an entire planet? This is insane!
She's right, man. Think this through.
I have thought it through. Believe me. You all have your orders. Carry them out. I will not be stopped. Not by you, or the Confederates, or the Protoss, or anyone. I will rule this sector, or see it burnt to ashes around me.
Holy... I can't believe it. We can nail Menks to the wall with this.
Emperor, much has been written in regards to the tragic fall of Tarsonis. Toloski's investigative documentary, Imperial Dawn, even claims that you brought down the Confederate system by assuring Tarsonis' fall.
I've heard these conspiracy theories before, but the fact remains. The Zerg invaded Tarsonis en masse, and no force in the universe could have stopped their onslaught. It was a very terrible day.
Toloski's film highlights the seeming convenience of the aliens annihilating a corrupt government that you yourself spent a lifetime trying to overthrow.
Millions died that day, and you speak to me of convenience? Yes. I strove against the evils of the old Confederacy, but never with the object of personal gain. When I was called upon to take up the heavy burden of leadership, I did so only to ensure our continuing survival as a species.
Striking words from the Emperor himself. Up next, Zerglings allergic to lemon juice? Old wives' tale? Or new super weapon in the fight for humanity?
The decrypted adjutant contains records proving Menks ordered the massacre on Tarsonis. Now we just need to broadcast those records. Mirahan gave us a tip that might help. The Dominion is unveiling a new war machine called the Odin on Korhal. If we hijack the Odin, we can use it to gain access to the UNN studios and broadcast the records of Menks' war crimes. The Odin is currently in the testing facility on Valhalla.
Alright, Engine of Destruction. This is loads of fun. Our objectives are to get Tychus to the Odin, to make sure Tychus survives, to destroy 5 bases, and make sure the Odin survives. Bonus objectives are destroying the Loki, a superhero battle cruiser, and finding 3 Devourer samples. Here's Tychus going in to get the Odin. Now we're skipping ahead to building our base, put a little bit of defense out each ramp. That's important. And before we know it...
Sir, I'm picking up Dominion battle cruisers
Dominion
on
battle
an intercept
cruisers.
course with the Odin.
Hey, Hotshot, you want these Wraith fighters now? They'll take down a battle.
And that's good.
You can build
Now,
one to stop.
Odin's going to start here and basically work its way around clockwise to here and destroy all the bases in the middle, occasionally taking little breaks for naps and so forth, which you can use to build up. We're going to try to keep the Odin alive here, first by having some raids, the raids that were given, protect it. And then as time goes on, we have a science vessel there. The problem is you can see that the Odin's already low on life. That's because the science vessel's used all its energy. So we actually need to get some SCVs over there quick at that point. Now here's an interesting thing. With those auto refineries, you can get gas from that other base once you've destroyed it without even putting a command center up there. Here our Rays have found the Loki and they're blasting it. And we're heading in on final base. Achievements here are taking out the Loki on normal and getting the Odin through the mission on hard without ever falling below 30% life. And we've hammered the Loki there. There are some other things you can do here. Instead of using Rays, you can use Permacloak Ghosts if you have that upgrade, Goliath's Air. A lot of people suggest against using Rays, and Rays are indeed weak, but it seems to work here. Some people also use a bug to try to get the Odin stuck by using buildings to hold the Odin in place until you can get more of an army up.
This is Kate Lockwell reporting from UNN headquarters on Core Hall. Let's go to Donnie Vermillion on special assignment.
Kate, I'm very pleased to be talking to General Horace Warfield. General, I understand that Dominion forces will soon be showing off their newest weapon, the Odin War Machine.
That's correct, Donnie. We'll show the Odin on the streets of Core Hall itself, with full coverage from your fine network.
General, Kate Lockwell here. I've heard rumblings about some sort of logistics trouble with the Odin's debut.
Now, Kate...
It's true, Kate. The Odin was delayed in shipping, and we briefly lost communication with the production facility. But it arrived safely, so we can go ahead with the unveiling.
You heard it here first. The Dominion unveiling new weapons of destruction on the streets of Core Hall.
What is wrong with that woman? Tell her not to interrupt my interviews!
Your boy Horner is actually pulling this off. Gotta say, I'm mighty impressed.
All right, Media Blitz. This is where Tychus gets to shine. He takes the Odin downtown and blows everything to bits. The objectives here are to blast some people during the sneak attack, that's a little undefined, and then mainly to get to the 3 broadcast towers and hold them long enough to get a broadcast out from each tower. You'll see here that Tychus starts in the middle, and then there are 3 main bases. There's a base that generates mainly air, one that generates mainly mech, one generates mainly bio, and a couple of other little bases. We'll also have a base off in the corner. Tychus is going to begin with a barrage here. Just take out one side there. That's a good way to do it. And then let Tychus blast the rest of these people.
Repeat. Odin has gone rogue. Bring it down.
Conventional wisdom says go take out one of the large bases. We're going to do something else, but first Tychus wants, well, he wants some clams. Nova's cloak isn't working real well there.
For the big dog.
And then instead of taking out one base, we're going to take out just the command centers from each base. I don't know whether that does any good, but it's different. It's fun. And we're not going to ignore the 2 little wee bases. We're going to get the command center at each of 3 main bases, but we're also going to get each command center at the little wee bases. Here's how we're going to do it. Instead of going up into this base, we'll get up close to the command center and barrage it from the street. There we go.
This'll get her done.
Same thing up at the mech base at the top. Now look at this. This is the only place you're going to see Tychus playing soccer. Goal! Now why is the Odin blasting this instead of barraging it? Because there isn't enough energy to use a barrage, but in another 10 seconds or so we'll have enough. But we're going to need that for the command center up here at the bio base. Now there are some bonus objectives, by the way. If you destroy a barracks, a factory, and a starport on normal in the surprise attack, and the only place you can do that is if you go to the left base, that's one objective, and completing hard in under 20 minutes. And your sneak attack is included in that. Alright, now once that surprise attack is finished, you'll be down in this corner building a base and getting ready for the rest of the mission, which involves getting those broadcast towers. While we're building our base, we're going to send Odin off on a little adventure. And Tychus has found some civilians here in a science facility. Being Terran, let's kill them! Actually, what we want is that little blue dealie, because this is... Boom! A secret mission! There is a secret mission here that you can only unlock this way, and if you get all the way through the campaign and haven't done it, you don't get to go back and do it.
Security breach at one of the towers. Strike Team Alpha, engage.
We have a gazillion Thors here, and we're going to hold this first tower by setting one of them, Odin in this case, on that green pad, and then we're going to watch the broadcast spin up to 100. Then we're going to go up to the next tower, and mind you, while you're on those, you're going to get attacked from the other two bases. So we got attacked by Vikings here, even though we destroyed the airbase, because that's just how the triggers work. You get attacked by the other two bases. Here we're on the third tower, and we're being so careless we're not even really fighting here. They're even going to bring in a battle cruise, and we're just letting the Thors mill around, and they'll blast stuff, and we'll be okay. Science vessels to repair it. You can drop in mules if you need to do repairs here.
See what the people will think of their beloved Emperor now.
Spectres and nukes might work also.
All transmissions have been sent, sir. Every world in the Dominion just got a UNN special bulletin about Mengsk.
They appear to take a dim view of Mengsk's ethics.
These shocking revelations, a veritable firestorm of anti-Mengsk sentiment.
The Emperor held a news conference earlier today.
How do you respond to these allegations of genocide? Abusing aliens to...
I assure you, these slanderous attacks against the throne are baseless and irresponsible.
Sir, do you still stand by the sentiment that selfless devotion to the people is the basis of your rule?
Well, of course. I was called upon to serve the greater interest of humanity. Personal power was never my goal.
Then how would you characterize this statement?
I will not be stopped. Not by you or the Confederates or the Protoss or anyone. I will rule this sector or see it burnt to ashes around me.
I won't stand for this. You jackals think you can come in here and question me? This interview is over.
You know, I love seeing him squirm. But the Dominion's just gonna spin this like they do everything else.
Not this time.
Kate Lockwell here, live from Core Hall. There's rioting in the streets. Citizens are setting fire to government buildings to express their shock and anger at the startling revelations from earlier today. Donnie, what's the situation where you are?
I had a brother on Tarsonis. I had a brother there.
Right. Thanks for that, Donnie. Okay. Emperor Mengsk broadcast a statement earlier today. Unfortunately, UNN satellites were on lockdown at the time. Let's replay a bit of that.
This evidence has been falsified. The enemies of the Dominion will go to any length to soil my good reputation. These ruthless, slanderous attacks cannot...
At that point, the Emperor was shouted down. He's since retreated to his palace and refuses to speak to anyone. In this reporter's opinion, Emperor Mengsk has been revealed as a...
This is the secret mission. It's another dungeon crawl. Raynor and a small team investigating a secret Dominion lab to see what kind of nefarious shenanigans are going on. The objectives are to investigate the lab, blow up a generator, keep Raynor alive, and help him escape the facility. Bonus objectives are to collect 4 relics along the way and kill the Broodlisk. There are some achievements. Get all the objectives, kill the Broodlisk on normal without losing a unit, and find all the weapons pickups on hard. Here's a map. It's not very worthwhile. We're jumping into the mission a bit. Sometimes you can lure a unit out and kill something off one at a time. In this case, a bunch of people are coming. Raynor needs to get his grenade out and start throwing it here. Thankfully, the medics are backing us up.
Time to man.
You rang?
What's up?
Is it critical?
These little green pads, you always need to go there. In this mission, they generally give you a number of options. In this case, you can decide what you want to release to try to clear out this room a little bit. You can either go back to the room immediately or wait to see what happens. It's probably best to go into the room immediately and then see which side seems to be getting the upper hand and then attack them so there aren't too many left at the end. Should be stimming here. Here we're going to blow this building up and get a relic. We blew up a similar building earlier in the mission, and that had Zerg pour out of it. You have to be careful what you do. There's Raynor's breaching charge. He's going to breach that door and see what's behind it. Normally, when you got into this area, you'd turn left and go down the hall, and you might miss this, but it's best not to miss it, since you can use some of that plasma ammo. That pickup there is basically a health restore, but we're already okay. At the end of this hall, Raynor will definitely want to use that plasma weapon on a tank and a Viking.
We got trouble ahead. That cargo base big enough for heavy units. Oh yeah.
There are a couple ways you can approach that. You can use this warbot to go in and try to clear things out. You can fight your way partway through, use the warbot to get a Thor that's in there, or you can save the warbot for the Brutalisk later. We're gonna fight our way through and then use Raynor to hit this Thor with a couple of plasma charges, and that ought to take it down. This mission is great for getting credits and both Protoss and Zerg research. Now we get up to this Brutalisk room.
Use some reinforcements down here. They got something big
and since we have some
Is it critical?
medics, we'll get some marauders. Look what we have here. Oh, what a cutie. And a flying outhouse. Okay, let's get back to business. So we go into this room. There will be Terrans, and as you work your way around the Dominion Terrans, and as we work your way around, you'll find more. We'll go ahead and attack the Brutalisk. We've gone back, got the Warbot, brought it up, and it's fighting it all by itself. Meanwhile, we'll blast this Brutalisk. Work our way around here, clear out the Terrans, find the generator, blast the generator. We've picked up a relic. Now, it's important to understand that at this point, blasting this generator is going to make a containment field fall and all heck's going to break loose. Because that hybrid is coming for us. And we just want to run. We don't want to stop and fight these people here. We don't want to fight either side. We just want to run. We want to run and run and run. It is flat out run all the way now. Unfortunately, there will be some debris that slows us down from time to time. We need to get rid of that.
Please state the nature of your medical. Where does it hurt?
Another warbot. Adjutant.
Where does it hurt?
Break it down.
You rang.
Sell me.
Please state the nature of your standing by.
Sell
Is it critical?
Break it down.
Need some triage?
What's up?
Is it critical?
What's the plan?
Chrono Rift slows down the hybrid.
What's up?
We probably shouldn't pause here because just ahead the hybrid will disappear. If we'd like to get to that point.
Please state the nature. Is it critical?
What's
Please state
break it down.
standing by.
What's up?
You rang.
At this point, you could run around fairly safely, at least as far as hybrid's concerned. But where you'll get is a field of nightmares. The Ultralisks, we've gotten through it, but right at this point, oh no, something's going to happen.
Please state the nature of your medical. Where does it hurt?
Yeah, hybrid's back. So we just want to run, 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 get to the transport, and escape.
This is Kate Lockwell for UNN. Donnie Vermillion remains on sick leave. Get better, Donnie. Coming up later, we begin a 10-part expose on corruption in the Dominion government. How high does it go? Tonight, however, I'd like to return to the topic of Tarsonis and the day it fell. Families ripped apart, literally, when the savage Zerg arrived. Mountains of dead bodies, deserted cities. Let's play that clip again.
I will rule this sector or see it burnt to ashes around.
Stop! Wait! You can't just come in here! By order of Dominion Security, this newscast is terminated.
We finally got you, Arcturus.